G'day. Well, today I want to talk about an article in the local paper and some of the bits and pieces that are following from around that. So let's just have a look at it. This is an article in the Herald Sun of a day or two ago. Sex discrimination claim, teen sailor sues over yacht race ban. A teenage sailor has launched a sex discrimination case after Yachting Victoria claiming she was abused and humiliated after being barred from racing with her father in a men's yacht race at the World Cup. She claimed she was a promising young sailor before the regatta, but felt intimidated and suffered profound distress by her treatment and hasn't sailed since. She told the federal court that she lost all motivation and enjoyment in sailing and even had difficulty in her final year of secondary school to the detriment of her academic results. She was 16 when her father, Paul Cody, entered her to sail with him at the ISAF Sailing World Cup organised by Yachting Victoria in 2014. Mr Cody registered for the men's 49er class, a two-person high-performance dinghy, with points from races counting towards Olympic selection. And we'll come to her online petition later. She said that she entered the men's class. Because my crew is male. Strange. She then go on to say the 49er class had always been open to mixed crews, and the ISAF made no announcement the gender rules had been changed, and we'll come back to that in a minute too. They participated in the first race, but retired because of damage, and the following day the regatta's principal race officer told her and her father they were in violation of Olympic gender requirements and shouldn't participate anymore. Now, at that stage they should have stopped, but they did participate in 3 more races that day, and as an aside, I'd hope they didn't get in anyone's way because they were not qualified to race in those. Their results were not recorded. The World Sailing jury disqualified them from the remaining regatta races and at a later hearing annulled their scores. The skipper, the father, was found to have committed gross misconduct, presumably by being in the races for which he was not officially entered, gross breach of the rules, bad manners, poor sportsmanship and bringing the sport into disrepute. She told the court she felt singled out, identified and shamed for participating in the regatta. She said she was verbally abused by other competitors in the sight and hearing of officials, which added to her distress and humiliation. She claims that by its actions, Yachting Victoria discriminated against her in breach of the Sex Discrimination Act. Yachting Victoria sought a summary dismissal on the basis, and the net outcome of this, just running down here, yes, there will be a continued hearing in August. Now, that's the sort of nitty-gritty from the Herald Sun. Now, at the same time, on I guess it's the 49er FX site, she explains, I competed in a 49er Olympic class and was utterly disqualified, unfairly disqualified without hearing. I entered into the 49er class because I was unable to enter the female women's 49er class, FX class, because my crew is male. I was unable to enter the female women's 49er FX class because my crew is male. So she enters the men's 49er class. Strange. She does go on to say the 49er class had always been open to mixed crews, and the ISAF made no announcement the gender rules had been changed. So she goes on about this at this stage. Now, when we have a little look at the, notice of race for this particular event, it says under 3.5, Olympic gender requirements will apply for each Olympic class event. That really doesn't tell you much, to be fair. But under 3.8, it does say, it lists the various events that are there, and it lists men's 2-person dinghy high performance 49ers. It doesn't say mixed, it says men's 2-person dinghy high performance, and there is a women's 2-person dinghy high performance, the 49er FX. There is no allocation for mixed crews. So it is quite clear in the notice of race that, in fact, there was not going to be a situation where a mixed crew could participate in this particular exercise. So I just find it somewhat difficult to swallow that she has so much humiliation and so forth and so upset about it. To me it's fairly straightforward. The rules are abundantly clear. She couldn't enter the women's. She knows she couldn't enter the women's because her crew is male, but she quite happily entered the men's in spite of the fact that the skipper is female. I think that the situation is pretty well open and shut, to be quite honest. And I don't believe that it's discriminatory. I think that the Sailing Federation simply followed the rules. It'll be very interesting to see just what the court decides in this matter. But let's just put it the other way. If she had entered into the women's with her father as skipper or crew, there would be a scream from everybody on the women's side, and quite correctly so. So I don't see how they can get out. In fact, it's been shall we say, a hot button problem as far as the sailing fraternity are concerned. So basically that's about it. I'm just amazed that, I don't know what she's trying to get out of this. Presumably she's trying to get some money out of it. I don't see why on earth she'd be bothering otherwise. Yes, under the Sex Discrimination Act, it's not unlawful to discriminate on the grounds of sex, gender identity or intersex statement by excluding persons from participation in any competitive sporting activity in which the strength, stamina or physique of competitors is relevant. If she in fact wants to sail in mixed crews, let's make all of the events open to both men and women. And actually in sailing that's not a bad idea. Women certainly are right up there with the best of the men. I don't see why there should be a difference between them. In any case, I'm just horrified that this has sort of got to this stage. I think suck it up is my view on the matter. In any case, that's probably enough for now, and I'll be back with more ravings and ramblings in the near future. Bye for now.